turning away can also be a deep kind of love. Back in her teenage years, she fell in love. At school, she would walk hand in hand with her boyfriend, catching the eyes of passers-by. When classmates saw them, they would say with envy, "Your boyfriend is so handsome. Such a perfect match." The boy would only smile faintly in response. 3 years later, just before graduation, she brought him back to her hometown to meet her parents. But the moment they learned more about him, their expressions grew cold. Her father scoffed, "You're just a pastry chef. My daughter is a university graduate. What kind of future can you give her?" That night, she sent him back to his hotel in tears. Back home, she declared she wouldn't give up the relationship, even refusing to eat in protest. Her parents locked her in the house, but she climbed out through the window into a neighbor's home and ran off to the hotel to find him. They had first met at a pastry shop near campus. He was the store's well-known dessert chef, and he would blush every time he saw her. One day, when business was slow, he made a fresh batch of egg tarts, placing a single raisin on top of one. He shyly handed it to her and said, "This is a princess egg tart. I think it suits you perfectly." That raisin-topped princess tart became hers and hers alone, bringing her sweetness for 4 whole years. But sometimes, sweetness is followed by intense bitterness. Now, the pain came like a storm. She was always a filial daughter, and it broke her to see her parents weeping, growing more haggard each day. But even so, she gripped his hand tightly and whispered, "It's okay. We'll still be together." But on the 6th time, she ran away to find him. The hotel receptionist handed her a tiny folded paper crane. The boy had already checked out. Panic and confusion overwhelmed her. In the days that followed, she suffered sleepless nights. When she finally scraped together the fare to visit the pastry shop in the provincial capital, he was gone. He had already quit. She didn't know how many tears she cried in those days. Only that all she felt was a deep, aching despair. But no matter how painful, time moves on. Eventually, the anger she felt toward his cowardice began to fade. She started dating a successful manager from her company and later married him. On weekends, she would sit in their car with their child, going out on family trips to see the flowers bloom. That first love became nothing more than a faint memory. Only the little paper crane remained, tucked away in her old diary. 6 years passed. One day, while sorting through old things, she came across the crane. A wave of emotions hit her, and almost unconsciously, she unfolded it. Inside, the paper was filled with tiny, tightly written words. "I once dreamed of making you my princess tart for life. But in the end, all I gave you was pain. Every time you ran away from home to find me, you came thinner, paler. My heart broke. These past 3 months, I've begged your parents over and over, but nothing changed. I couldn't bear to see you suffer anymore. The only way I could help was to leave, so that you could forget me completely and make room for new happiness. The ink was smudged with his tears. She suddenly remembered what her parents once said with disdain. He never fights for anything. When things get hard, he just disappears. That's not what a real man does. Now, those words no longer mattered. But she still couldn't help calling her mother and asking, "Did he really come to talk to you that many times? Who was lying?" There was a long silence. Then her mother sighed deeply and said, "He really was a devoted boy. Yes, he had come to see them many times." Her mother remembered the last time clearly. His eyes were dark and tired, his shirt wrinkled. He seemed lost and said, "I'm planning to leave her. I won't contact her anymore so she can truly forget me. But can I call you from time to time, just to ask how she's doing? If I don't, I'm afraid I won't be able to stop myself from going back to find her." In the first year, he called every week. After learning you had someone new, got married, had a child, he started calling every 6 months. He always told me not to let you know, so you wouldn't keep thinking about him. His calls came from all over the country, never from the same city. 3 months ago, he called for the last time. He said he was thinking of starting a family too. Said he hadn't been able to forget you as fast as you forgot him. But that, finally, there was a little emptiness in his heart, space for someone new. She sat there, listening, tears streaming down her face. So it turns out, forgetting can be a kind of blessing, and turning away can be a deep kind of love. His lonely youth was all for the sake of that one unforgettable first love.